The Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scenes 4, 5, and 6. These scenes express many elements of what is known as Romanticism, a historical movement that occurred in many forms of art, painting, music, literature. It has been described as taking place in the 18th century, but a few dates much earlier than this will be found. And I believe that these scenes are an early example of Romanticism. As Jessica and Lorenzo disrupt the classical Western tradition, the demands of church, public opinion, and family, and replace it with a passionate belief in spiritual freedom. The philosopher Isaiah Berlin described Romanticism as a new and restless spirit seeking violently to burst through old and cramping forms, a longing for the unbounded and the indefinable, for perpetual movement and change, an effort to return to the forgotten sources of life, and a passionate effort at self-assertion. One can sense Jessica's passionate attempt at physical and emotional freedom as she waits with bated breath for the success of her escape. In secret conference with her father's servant, Lancelot, who's helping with the escape, Shylock, her father, interjects. "What, says that fool of Hagar's offspring? Huh?" And Jessica must play it cool and be quick on her feet. And another crisis had to be averted when Lancelot lets slip the conditions under which she will make her escape. And again, Shylock, her father, interjects, "What? Are there masks? Hear you me, Jessica, lock up my doors, and when you hear the drum and vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street, to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces, but stop my house's ears, I mean casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house." Jessica is a restless spirit, but she has to convince her father that all is well. So Shylock can leave the house, but as he does, he makes one last grasp, exerting old and cramping forms with the proverb, "Fast bind, fast find." And it is this proverb that she will violently burst through, as he will be unable to find, among other things, her. All he will know of his daughter's whereabouts, one who was not even allowed to look outside, will come from what sailors speak of her adventures, the rumors of his daughter's perpetual movement and change at sea, such as, "Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard, in one night 80 ducats. And one of them showed me a ring he had of your daughter for a monkey." Shakespeare rewards these dramatic outpourings of feelings that these lovers have, and makes right and noble their efforts to follow their hearts. In Act 5, Scene 1, they end up at Belmont, and they're laying on the grass. And with what Isaiah Berlin described as an effort to return to forgotten sources of life, they look up at the stars and wonder about the music of the spheres. Lorenzo speaks, "There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdest, but in his motion like an angel sings, still choiring to the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it." Yes, Romanticism is all about a return to nature, to stand in awe of nature, and to feel the power that it has over us. Romantics go in search of the emotions one might once have had around religion. As in Act 2, Scene 4, when like an angel descended to the earth, Jessica's hand is described as whiter than the paper it writ on. It is Jessica's fair hand that Lorenzo is wild about. As with all romantics, it is based on sight of an ankle or the curvature of a cheek, not what for most of human history was in the power of the elders, of the community, or the parents, in determining what brought a couple together. Reasonable, practical concerns. But Shakespeare is also critical of Romanticism, of the intense emotions and spontaneity of it. In Act 2, Scene 6, Graziano speaks, "All things that are with more spirit chaste than enjoyed."